With the permission of all dignitaries, I now begin with the session. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management BVI CAM, in association with the Computational Intelligence Society, CIS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System Man and Cybernetics, SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity, CNA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity, LMA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations, IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relation and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Site Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Region 10 of IEEE with the Associations of Computer Society of India, Institute of Information Technology Professionals, IITP, ISTE Delhi section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborators welcomes you all to the IEEE IETE BVI CAM technical lecture series on machine learning enabled insider threat prediction. With immense pride and honor, we are delighted to announce that we, with united hands, mark special contribution for the monumental occasion, Golden Jubilee celebrations of the IEEE Delhi section. From 13th May 2025 to 12th May 2026, we mark 50 years of this vibrant and pioneering section, a journey that began in 1976 and has since shaped the technological and professional landscape of Northern India through innovation, collaboration, and learning. This webinar is an initiative to celebrate this legacy. According to Jeff Bezos, much of what we do with machine learning happens beneath the surface. Machine learning drives our algorithms for demand forecasting, product search, ranking, product and deals, merchandising, placements and fraud detection, translations, and much more. Though less visible, much of the impact of machine learning will be of this type, quietly but meaningfully improving core operations. Insider threat has always been considered as a big challenge and difficult to predict. During today's session, there will be deliberations on what is insider threat, why it's so deadly, traditional methods to dedicate or mitigate such threats, and how can technologies like AI and machine learning facilitate to avoid such threats. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would now first welcome amongst us our expert speakers, Group Captain Ashok Kumar Sir and Professor Damandev Sood Sir with an e-bouquet. Welcome to the session, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Group Captain Ashok Kumar Sir is a veteran from the Indian Air Force. With over 34 years of distinguished service, Sir is a practical hands-on expert in red teaming, blue teaming, cyber threat intelligence, GIS, AI, etc. Presently, he is among the board of advisors at Cyber AI Commune. We welcome you today to this session, sir. Mr. Damandev Sood Sir is a professor of practice at Chitkara University, Himachal Pradesh. With over 39 years in the industry and over 19 years in the resilience domain, Sir is a certified international and corporate trainer with over 15,500 hours of training, teaching experience, achieving over 100% NPS and holding over 18 copyrights. He is a published author of 10 published books on resilience. In his professional journey with corporates like TCS, Zansa, Continuity and Resilience, City Innovates, EY, HSBC, Sir has played various senior executive roles like principal consultant, group head, practice head, COO, CIO, VP, board member, program director, etc. Sir has traveled, worked to in over 20 plus countries. An international speaker, Sir has served several clients in various industry sectors. During his journey, he has also won multiple national and global awards and has also been inducted into the BCI Hall of Fame. Currently director at the one-man company DVD Training and Consultancy, Sir serves as an international resilience trainer and consultant. He is also the chair ad hoc committee for Golden Jubilee celebrations of IEEE Delhi section. We are honored to have you among Sir, and I will now
Thank
request
you.
you to kindly enlighten the House.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritika. And my virtual background justifies the full year that we are going to have. And very happy to be here myself, and especially to be with Group Captain Ashok. Good evening, everyone, once again. And good evening, Ashok. He has decided, an expert in his area, to talk to us without slides. So it's going to be a different type of session, discussion space. So Ashok, while Dr. Ritika said a little about you, as much as we could, but my request is, because I know there's a lot in veteran Ashok, please share a little more about yourself.
Just to set the context right, I'll talk about it's the only job which I took up after passing out from my engineering college in 1988 was Indian Air Force, and that's it. So that's 34 years long span of career, and now I'm managing a community of CIOs and CISOs, corporate CIOs, CISOs, with the name of Cyber AI Commune. I wanted to put that background, but not familiar with WebEx, so it is showing up in a inverted kind of thing. So that's it. So Cyber AI Commune, we have taken up a task of educating 20,000 people on cyber awareness. The scammers are targeting mostly the senior citizens, and they are getting, suddenly they got smartphone, they started using WhatsApp, and with lot many UPI and everything built in convenience. So people are getting scammed every day. So we have sort of taken up a task, and in a year we have crossed target of, we took up a target of 20,000 people, but we have a big list of volunteers with us, and we have crossed around 30,000 people educating on cyber awareness. So anywhere, starting from schools to the interiors of Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, everywhere we have people, and we have taken cyber education, which is very, very satisfying. Why I picked up this insider threat detection and prediction problem was in 2010, Indian Air Force built up its own captive network, starting from ground zero, and each and every endpoint was formatted and then brought onto the network. Surprisingly, after 6 months, we had the malware, which is available, and nowhere, mind you, this network, any critical infrastructure network is not connected to internet, but we had malware. What was the ingress point? It is the people who have, mobile users, they were using the same laptop, enterprise laptop on internet as well as on the corporate network. So when we traced back, then we realized, boss, this is the actual problem. And post-retirement, when, I thought of, taking up sort of research work, this is the only problem statement which I could think of. The negligent insider are the main issue as far as security is concerned. More I went deep into it, I realized that this remains the unsolved problem of cybersecurity.
All right. Great. Thank you very much. So from IEEE Delhi section, we had been attempting on our own, and that's why I was very happy to invite you, and then doubly happy when you accepted our invitation to talk to us. About 2 years ago, we produced 3 short films around cybersecurity. Short films, about 7-8 minutes, those. And in April, I delivered 2 sessions for the officers and the staff families of the officers, army officers. Today, I'm really happy to be then learning from an officer. A few weeks ago, I talked about cybersecurity on this platform during our celebrations, Golden Jubilee celebrations, with the help of some cases. Today's discussion is going to be technical because here is a technical expert sitting with us. So Ashok, please allow me to start with some questions that I have in mind.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So insider threat has been around forever. From disgruntled employees to accidental errors, it's a persistent problem. For our listeners, for all of us, including me also, let's set the stage. What are we talking about when we say insider threat, and why is it so challenging to combat?
Great question. If we go back to our Ramayana days, and there's an old saying, "Ghar ka bhedi lanka dhai."
Exactly.
So the insider threat is not new. It has been very, it's there since time immemorial. Secondly, when an attacker is trying to attack your network, he has to cross so many hurdles, right?
So we go
For
to
example,
Mahabharata then.
Yeah,
Chakravyuh.
Chakravyuh. You'll have to. But if I have somebody who is on my side, somebody, let's say, he's on the other side, but batting from my side, I can win the war. Come little forward, it is said, किले के दरवाजे अंदर से ही खुलते हैं.
All right.
So insider threat has been prevalent, and the two moments have been defining as far as Indian digital arena is concerned. One was this demonetization, and second was COVID, right? Wherein we took the digital transformation to the next level. Money transfer, and you can say work from home, all these, so many things. We courtesy that only we are talking to each other. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been sitting at home and doing this talk.
Right.
So with so much of digital transformation, what has happened is somebody asked me, okay, how can you summarize cybersecurity? I said, there is one Ek Shloki Ramayana. The complete Ramayana can be summed up in one shloka. Same way, if you ask me to summarize cybersecurity, it can be summed up in CIA and PPT.
All right.
Confidentiality, integrity, and availability, people, process, and technology.
All
That's
right.
all. That's all is the cybersecurity. So you keep managing. So when it comes to the people, process, and technology, people have been the most difficult part.
All right.
In security, there is an old saying, there is no patch for human greed, lust, or stupidity. Pardon my using this phrase, but this is the fact. See, humans are the weakest link as far as technology is concerned. So that's where we say it was just to set the context, and from there the insider threat emerges. So now, if we can categorize insiders, primarily they can be in 3 categories. There can be many more, but as far as for the study point of view, one is malicious insiders who are keen on taking out data from keep storing data, keep dumping in their hard disk, keep storing it, and as and when we move from one organization to another, it will be of some use to us, right? They are basically collecting data so that it can be of useful to them. Second is careless insiders, negligent insiders. You receive a mail that $1 million lottery has been given to you, and
I do every
you
week.
just click the link and you surrender your username and password. So that is the negligent insider. Third one is the compromised insider. Just in our case of forces, number of cases has happened through people try to get the sensitive information through a network called MV. Nothing against that, network marketing. So people became and started earning heavily. And one fine day, somebody came through some channel that, boss, I'll report this to your bosses, that this is extra income to you, which you are not authorized, and some blackmail kind of thing. And they started asking slowly some information. And the chap, out of fear, kept on delivering that information. So what I'm saying, that to exploit a human is the easiest part as far as insider threat is concerned. So that's why it becomes so complex.
Right.
So I think the first question which you asked, able to set the context right.
Thank you very much. Now, well, you said 3 types of insiders. Can we say the fourth type also, the implanted ones? Knowingly, someone gets me into either forces or into any corporate, any office.
Absolutely.
That's the sole purpose that I'm joining the company.
In competition, recently there was a case study that in because of this remote interviews, one of the North Korean was implanted in one of the big tech giant. I won't name the company, and a North Korean was implanted and in the big techie company, top 4, and rest is history.
Right. So, because we have been using some Hindi phrases, we started with Ramayana, we moved to Mahabharata, and then Chakravyuh.
Exactly. That's how it is. That's how it is.
I'm attempting to use one more, that there are some Bhole Balams. I'm a Bhola Balam, right? And I fall into trap. But there are many not so Bhola Balams also. Those are those implanted ones. That's what I was attempting to say.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So, because we have now established the problem, the context, as you said, historically, how have organizations tried to detect and mitigate these insider threats? And what are the conventional methods, and where do they fall short? We know they fall short.
Amazing. You're going to take me in surprise. It is all my literature review of my research work is going to help me today, save me. First and foremost thing is this problem has been unsolved for ages, and still till date it is unsolved. But we have been taking most of the methods which we were using for fighting this problem was one was they were detective in nature, reactive in nature. Incident ho jayega, then you act, try to find out that hack has taken place. The biggest problem with the insider threat is that you get to know after 200 days. 200 days is the minimum dwell time. That person is sitting inside your network. He's an authorized user, right? He has got proper username and password. He's inside your network. The attack is not taking from outside. He's sitting inside, slowly stealing information, removing all traces. And just to deviate from here, there is a beautiful case study called Omega Lloyd. It is freely downloadable. A world-leading company, all those who have seen 1982 Asian Games, there used to be Omega Watch, right? They're the world leader in timekeepers watches. And it's a very interesting case study. right?
We can talk about that. Yes.
We can talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's fine.
So since Omega was a very leading company, so they were manufacturing watches with the help of robotics, computer CNC machines, and they were precision, top level precision. So they were using novel netware.
Mhm.
Their system administrator set up the system, single man, right? And one fine day, his boss got out of mood in public. He shouted at him, insulted him, and what all kind of phrases he used. This chap felt humiliated, and he said, "Boss, I'm going to teach the lesson to this company. Number one company of the world, no competitor as far as watches are concerned. These industrial watches are concerned."
Right.
This chap created a single point of failure. All software on a server, made number of backup copies, took all the data software, and slowly kept sneaking it out of the company. When he had all data to establish his own setup separately, he resigned from the company, and before leaving the company, he planted a time bomb, software time bomb, that after 4 months you have certain accountability.
Yeah.
So after 4 months, that date and time will match, and it will do. If we can talk in terms of MS DOS, delete star dot star and no questions asked.
Okay.
Right, and deep level format.
All right.
So that program ran the background, and complete software which had no backup and single point of failure were created, and the company from the world leader, it was at the brink of becoming bankrupt.
Right. Right.
So that's where the FBI got in, and they carried out forensics. This is the first recorded case in the history of insider threat wherein the blame was put, and this guy, Mr. Lloyd, was put behind bars. So that just to bring in the
Yes.
deadliness of the insider threat, I just talked about. It's a beautiful case study. It's 8-9 pages. Detailed study is available for download.
Right. Very good.
So
I'm sure.
now coming on to what you asked me, what are the methods people were using? So-
I'm interrupting, Ashok. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, the question might have come a little later, but within the case, and very interesting case, you have been saying it's a very beautiful case study. I'm sure our audience will be happy to download and go deeper into that. But we say insider threats or insider risk. The person, this is the problem. But in this case, we have seen the reason also, so that we find the fix as well. It's a disgruntled employee, which is one type of insiders. But why was I disgruntled? Because of a bad boss, as simple as that.
Right.
That's the learning.
Human behavior.
Yes.
Emotions.
Yes. And in your mantra of cybersecurity, when you said part 2 of mantra was PPT, P, the first one, the people, the person.
Absolutely. People.
Thank you very much. Please continue.
So the methods which we were using primarily, they were static in nature, right? Intrusion detection system. You create certain rules, and if those rules are flouted, then there is an anomaly, and you say, boss, there is something wrong, and let's move on to the source of origin. But an insider, a system administrator who knows the rules, he could always scuttle around, and he could, he could deceive those rules. Number one. Similar thing happens in, malware.
Mhm.
Any malware which is known to an antivirus, it has got a signature. It'll have a certain kind of behavior. So all these malware, detecting companies like, let's say Norton, or for example, so many. So they can, with the behavior of a software, they can make out that there is some anomaly which is going on in the background. That's how they detect, signature based. So again, it is static. if a signature is unknown, new malware is generated, it is unknown, right?
Right.
Because hackers are evolving day by day. They are more ingenuine than the defenders. Let's be very, very clear. And even if they are not, even if the defenders are smart, in security, there's an old saying, defender has to be lucky all the time, whereas attacker has to be lucky only once.
Right.
So that's where it is. And, the third technique which we used to have as a traditional methods is data loss prevention, DLP.
Right.
So you monitor data at rest, encrypt it, and while your data is at move on the network, then also it is encrypted, right? But people with the smartphone coming in, camera in every hand, they can just take a screenshot or
Yes.
memorize or whatever. Some people have graphic memory; they can see the screen and reproduce one by one.
Right. Right.
So as you said, implanted people with the special mental faculties, they see the range spectrum of insider threat is so wide,
Yeah.
it is difficult to patch.
Right.
So the next approach which industry and has adopted is log reviews, which is a very, very crude kind of thing, and the kind of data, big data we are generating today, it is not feasible manually to do the log review and identify. You are searching a needle in the big haystack.
Right.
So most of the time in a SOC, and even if the anomaly comes in, even if the attack pattern comes in, the person who say they're old movies we used to say, Dharmender sending a toy and it's triggering the alarm. False alarm
Right.
will be triggered number of times. So the guy will say, okay, this is a false alarm. So he switches off the warning.
Right.
So this is called alert fatigue.
Right.
So this also fails at times. Then coming on to, if your system administrator becomes rogue,
Mhm.
रक्षक ही अगर भक्षक बन जाए तो क्या करोगे?
Exactly.
Like in case of Omega Philip, the Philip became a bad boy and became disgruntled. In such cases, we have softwares which, when you are carrying out a system administrator task, the complete recording will take place. Video will be recorded. It is called privileged access management software. So with every kind of incident and case, the only cybersecurity expenditure is increasing. We are not solving a problem. It is something like we are not addressing the root cause of the problem, which probably with the modern techniques, with artificial intelligence, it will get, if not 100%, let's say 96% resolved, which 96, why I'm saying, because I've been able to achieve this result in my research work. A research paper which has gone for
Right.
so we could achieve 96% result on a big data set, huge data set, which no one has worked. So I'll talk about it later.
Right.
So and next method of traditional is physical security, putting guards, putting surveillance cameras everywhere, and monitoring anomalous behavior of people.
Right. Right.
So these are the certain traditional methods,
Right.
which we have discussed their flaws, as well as why they were not being able to contain this menace is because they are primarily reactive in nature.
True. True. So while the session is about cybersecurity at a very high level, you said physical, and I 100% agree with that. There is no cybersecurity without first the physical security.
Physical security, absolutely, absolutely.
And then we are talking and dealing with people. So we need to be having resilient people. So resilient people, then the resilient physical security, and then only the cyber resilience. This is what I say. You mentioned one of the old techniques or traditional techniques, was looking into logs. That also reminded me of an incident long ago. I used to work on mainframes, and I was not a programmer yet. I was a little lower level, which was called computer operator. We used to work in shifts, and that week I was in night shift. Around 10 o'clock when I reached office, I saw some top heads busy, serious, and I had to take over the shift from the person who had to go home. Breaking heads. We knew some big processing had been happening throughout the day, should have finished just around 9 o'clock in the night, and would have produced some files. All that ended, but there were no signs of the files.
Okay.
And the mainframe also used to produce logs. We especially, though. So computer programmers wouldn't understand logs.
Right.
System administrators, operators, which are in between, they are not system administrators, but we still used to know a lot more about logs compared to the programmers.
Programmers. Yeah.
Big heads sitting there, breaking heads. And I reached and said, let me also have a look. Log helped us to see. I said after a few minutes, it was so easy to see that the program ran well for about 12 hours or so, finished well. So it didn't bomb.
Okay.
It had finished successfully. Files were created, but wouldn't be traced back because those were not saved because of mistake in the program. Log could tell us all that. Programmer wouldn't be able to tell us. The code, the executable file, wouldn't be able to tell us that, but log could tell us, even from the mainframes. And then, because we could find the reason, I also offered, so we know the solution also, I can fix it. Even if I was not the programmer, I know how to fix it, but it will have to be repeated for next 12 hours. There is no other way to get the files out. My senior at that time showed confidence in me. I fixed it, ran again, and next morning, around 10 o'clock in the morning, we had lost some time, but we came, and it was accidental, but it was insider, but it was accidental. It was not a mistake on purpose by the programmer.
Yeah.
So when you said log, that reminded me of that after 40 years or so, something like that. So it sounds, looking into the traditional ways, as you explained, that those conventional methods, traditional methods, while foundational, are or were largely reactive.
Very true.
And would have blind spots. So those of us who have learned driving and have not forgotten, initial lessons will be about the blind spots.
Blind spots.
In our side view mirrors, especially. So these reactive methods would have blind spots also, and may struggle with the sheer volume and complexity of modern user behavior. Is that fair assessment when I make this statement?
Very true. Very true.
Okay. So this brings us to the exciting developments in machine learning and deep learning. The young generation, especially in this session, would understand this easily. Some of us veterans also would understand. I say all of us need to understand because that's the life today. We cannot survive without knowing, understanding at least the basics, what is machine learning and what is deep learning. So coming to that point, how are these advanced techniques transforming inside the threat detection? While, as you said, I agree with that also. There was a saying, to catch a hacker, you need to have the mind of a hacker. You need to think like a hacker, but you said that they are one step ahead of us. We must admit, we must understand that also. So if we are attempting to look at advanced technology for detection, perhaps they are also using the advanced technology for attacks. So a little more about this from you. How are they specifically overcoming the limitations of those reactive methods or techniques that we had in the past?
Opposite of reaction is prediction.
Sorry?
prediction.
Prediction.
Predict.
Right. Right.
If you can, predict rather than reacting to a problem, if you can foresee with the, any means, X, Y, Z. So in this regard, I'll just set the context right. First comes the data. If somebody talks about, a lot of people talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning.
Right.
I said, first you understand it is like an engine.
Mhm.
Artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, they are like an engine. The engine runs on data. Fuel for that engine is the
Data.
data.
Mhm.
Imagine Suvir Bhatia getting 1.2 billion in 1999, 98, if I'm maybe 1 year, 1 or 2 year. Mr. Bill Gates had an idea, was this hotmail.com is going to fetch him data for the whole world.
Right.
Meta purchases WhatsApp at billions of dollars for what?
For data.
This Twitter was purchased of multi-billion, we can't think of, for what? For the data. Everybody needs data. Google has the biggest amount of data, and we are providing them the data, labeled data, right? Just because we have a free Android, free operating system, and the background, what all is going, that's a separate chapter itself. What I'm saying is,
Right.
I'm just trying to talk about the importance of data, not deviating on the other
Right.
direction.
Right.
So if, for the purpose of making artificial intelligence, if we have sufficient data, there are algorithms available, there are models available, which can be trained. So earlier, what problem we faced was the problem of, static in nature. Intrusion detection system, we have made the certain rules which are fixed. वो लकीर के फकीर हैं, ये है तो ऐसा है, नहीं है तो नहीं है. भले ही anomaly हो, सारा data निकाल के ले जाए, but if the system administrator bypass those rules, he can take out, he can have a party. They were not adaptive in nature. Whereas with the help of artificial intelligence and with this data available and training the system, we have fantastic system of adaptable in nature. Anomaly, you decide a baseline and you decide the anomaly variance. In case there is a variance from the rules, it'll fall into the, my baseline is disturbed, it falls into the category of anomaly. And now this is to be flagged, right? Second question which you asked was, attacker and defender. Now, people are using artificial intelligence for creating cyber attacks.
Right.
Right. Phishing creation. Earlier, you could make out the phishing mail, the language written by somebody, who is non-English chap. But with the help of AI, such a refined English mail coming with the name of your CEO or if CFO, okay, make the payment to so-and-so. And tone and tenor, it adapts everything. So it's not that the defender only are adopting. Before the defenders could adopt artificial intelligence, the attackers have adopted it. It has gone into the, first it has gone into the wrong hands. Now it is, we are just trying to catch up.
Right.
So coming on to back onto this, the future is to fight the AI, you have to use AI.
Right.
And anybody who has got better data set is going to win. So coming back to our prime problem of insider threat. First thing is we set the baseline, and the problem which we faced in the case of intrusion detection system of static rules is taken care of. So if not 100% achieving result, it's a utopia. Even if we are able to reach 96 or 95 with minimum number of false positives, we have achieved results. It is going to be a big deterrent. Now coming on to the biggest problem is the 0-day problem. As I said, hackers are evolving. Somebody comes out with a novel threat attack vectors, which is not listed. If you go to MITRE ATT&CK framework, it has got all tactics, techniques, and procedures laid down by various kind of hackers, North Koreans, Chinese. They have listed the groups. If this is the attack pattern, MITRE, ATT, and CK framework. It's a big repository of various. By the way, it is not by MIT. It's a not-for-profit organization funded by Department of Defense. So they have a big repository of what all attack vectors attacker will adopt, with what all techniques and tactics, and what all procedures will follow. So you can make out, okay, this is going to be Chinese, this attacker is going to be North Korean or Russian or whatever.
Awesome.
So with that, you can, train the model. And as far as we are telling, it is something like we are telling the artificial intelligence, but any anomaly is to be flagged.
Right.
So what you consider anomaly, if it is not in its database, अगली बार आप बताएंगे उसको that yes, this was the attack. So it will learn.
Got it.
It is adaptable.
Right.
So that's how we are, attacking, taking care of novel insider threats. Now, as I said, with the big data generating and big data logs coming in, as you said, you could crack the log in a single place sitting in the kind of logs which are being generated. Imagine a company having 4 lakh endpoints across the world. The number of logs which are being generated, it's mind-boggling, right? So even if the anomaly is to be detected, it has to be an automated process. Manual process, seeing those logs, humanly impossible.
True.
And secondly, lastly, in this regard, contextual awareness is very, very mandatory, right? For example, temporal kind of things, normally a person uses Microsoft Office and let's say Adobe Reader or certain softwares. Suddenly he started using a software to edit the video on his terminal. So it's an anomaly. So that contextual awareness, with the help of what a person is supposed to do and what a person is not supposed to do.
Right.
Both things, if we combine, system will remain, and any anomaly in this regard will be flagged. And in this context, what we are doing is we are monitoring not the people, we are monitoring their behavior.
Right.
That is very, very important. Now, little deviating. So what we did in our research was we included psychological patterns.
Okay.
There are 5 patterns called OCEAN, right? So which define the psychometric behavioral patterns of a person.
Mhm.
You integrate that, when you do the onboarding of a person in your company,
Right.
you record his parameters, which are variable. Maybe after a year, you will have to. So you will know his emotional quotient, you will know his intelligence quotient, you will know his patterns, and this will help you in building up a pattern who is susceptible.
Right.
So this is called user entity behavioral analysis. With this, we are able to contain insider threat to a great extent.
Great. Thank you very much. You cited a little while ago the use of technology, the artificial intelligence, for example, where in the past, those phishing mails were poorly written, bad language, but these attackers these days are or may use AI, for example, to write refined mails. And by looking at the mail, we may not be able to find now, which was easy in the past. It reminded me of a recent incident, Ashok. I keep saying in almost all discussions that I have on all platforms that I'm open to connections, especially an invitation to young ones, students, etc., or young professionals. Please get connected with me. You need senior people in your network, but you may be hesitant, etc., etc. I'm available to you. As long as there is a photo in your profile, I will not say no to your invitation. I keep saying this. So in one of the recent discussions, there was one young boy who started responding during the chat itself. And I said, yes, please, thanks, go ahead. Later on, he again kept writing to me, I would like to have discussions with you. I said, most welcome. Fix a time. And there were few sentences, not too many, but about 10 sentences between him and me, something like that. So maybe 50% by him, 50% by me. We fixed the time. Before logging off in that session, he said, and sir, please do not mind, or will you mind if I request you to be that call? It was going to be call to be in Hindi. Said no challenge, but I was surprised. All of a sudden, he requested the chat means talk to be in Hindi. No challenge. I don't mind. I don't dislike Hindi.
Yeah, very true, very true.
So I said yes, and then we met a couple of days later. The date and time that we had fixed. First question I asked him, but you were good in English when you were chatting to me in that session. Why did you request this call to be in Hindi? I was surprised. I'm surprised. तो थोड़ा सा शर्मा आ गया, फिर कहता है सर वो तो ना मैं चैट जीपीटी से
बना,
बट हमारी इंग्लिश एक्चुअली कमजोर है. हम he said eastern part of India, we understand that there may be a little lag. There's a lot of lag. Actually, he shared the reality there, which I wouldn't be aware of. And he was teaching cybersecurity, can we believe, to the students of that part of the country. He is a teacher. But he said, सर वो तो चैट जीपीटी से कर लेता हूँ ना, बोलने में तकलीफ है, इसलिए मैंने आपको रिक्वेस्ट किया था हिंदी में बात करने के लिए. So that's a live example. While if he's not a hacker, but even hacker could be using the artificial intelligence, the technology that is available to us for wrongdoings.
Thanks for sharing this example. I'll remember it and quote it with copyrights of yours.
Yes,
in various
please. Please. Thank you very much.
And,
so, when you have
yes,
explained this very well, how modern technology is or can be used for detection, etc. We are talking of insider threats specifically today. This seems to be a fascinating leap forward, Ashok. The ability to learn, adapt, and process vast amounts of data in real time. So once again, if we go back to my 35 years old example, it was a log that I was analyzing.
Absolutely.
These logs are, so program, at that time it was COBOL. The program that I fixed was in COBOL. Right? It is English-like language, exactly, right? English language. But the logs were not so easy. They are not in that easy language. There may be many 0 ones also, and a lot more, which is technical, which is not simple English. And just to analyze that event, that how and why did we lose this data file? The processing ran for 12 hours or so, as I said. The log file was about 400 pages.
Oh,
logs are too big. Still, it was just one event. One program was running on the mainframe, which we were focusing at. And to me, at that time, it took only a couple of minutes because I could pinpoint to that. I didn't analyze all 400 pages. I actually could go to the right place based on my knowledge, I would say. Now, the amount of data that has increased, as you explained, the amount of nodes, computers, ABCX servers, whatever we call, have increased. The amount of not only data has increased, the amount of logs also has increased. The complexity of logs has increased. So that's why processing vast amounts of this data. Data means now I'm talking of logs in real time. Also, we want this information as soon as possible. Daman, we don't have 12 months for you to analyze 4,000 pages of log. Right? But no technology is a silver bullet. Now coming to the challenge. So what are the current limitations of these modern AI or ML techniques, artificial
Very,
intelligence or
very
machine
rightly said,
language
sir.
techniques
Very
in
rightly.
insider threat detection. We are still focusing on insider threat.
The biggest problem which the research community and the development community is facing is the availability of real data set. Real data set, right? Means you will get a synthetically generated data, which is, see, if I ask some company, let's say I ask Bharti Vidyapeeth, okay, you give me the logs of your system, I'll straight away be denied. Nobody will share his production systems data because it will contain a lot of confidential information.
Right.
Username, passwords, IP addresses, which a hacker uses to attack a system.
Right.
Let's be very, very even if you mask some of them, fake some of them, you will not get the correct picture. So what research community has adopted, coming back to them, Harbar, you are always 2 steps ahead and asking questions.
Right.
The biggest challenge, how we have gone about doing it, you create a data set today, after creating a data set, and which is synthetically generated.
Right.
Carnegie Mellon University has done a great job. They have brought out 6 version of insider threat data set, wherein they have included this, psychometric behavior of insider,
Right.
and file access, and the size of data set is 90 GB. And there are only 25 cases of malign users, malicious behavior. So they are heavily imbalanced data sets.
Mhm.
So there are various techniques. I'll not get into those details where we used to, there's attendees available in the webinar. They all are researchers. They know where to use supervised learning, where you used to use unsupervised learning, ensembles, various methods. So
Right.
I'm just talking about availability of data set.
Right.
The very that one of the research paper was on choosing the data set itself. There are various data sets available,
Right.
but when we analyzed, I said, well, realistic problem analysis will be done on this. So when we chose, put it in our synopsis, and when we started for last 3 years, we have been struggling. We needed strong compute power to analyze those 90 GB data, label it, take out information, see which are the ground truth kind of behavior. A person normally comes at 9 o'clock, packs up at 5 o'clock, and suddenly he logs in from a different IP address at 12 o'clock in the night, and he started dumping the files in his cloud. So these
Right.
are the various kind of situations which were given.
Right.
So when you have all these temporal kind of data available in 90 GB data set,
Right.
searching it and labeling it, it's a big challenge,
Mhm.
right? So the first I'll talk about challenges. Is non-availability of realistic data. It is all synthetically generated. Data set structure itself is imbalanced somewhere. You will have we all have to correct it. At the age of 59, I did go back to 1988 and corrected all those date formats. Used all my faculties, whatever I have learned in last 34 years, to crack this problem. And finally, we could do it. Another problem is finding out the right kind of algorithm
Mhm.
for training the data set. So these challenges will remain. And the biggest challenge is you train a system, you find out the best algorithm, and once you put in the production system, the log which are being generated are in an entirely different format. They are
Right.
no match. So you'll have to convert those production system kind of logs
Right.
into the format which are acceptable to your model.
Right.
Another interface. And whenever you put an interface, there is going to be a noise, and there is going to be
Noise.
a drop, and there will be some challenges. So
Right,
in a lab, if you can say 96%, in a production environment, it will go maybe to 60 or 70% with a lot of. So you'll keep refining when you go into the production. So these are the few challenges, and आप बीती जिसको कहते हैं for last 2
right.
years.
Yes.
So
We
this
learn a
is what
lot.
I faced, and
Great.
we could overcome. So I'll share once my papers are published. I'll share all this data on GitHub, available for people to modify,
Very good.
correct, and add. That's how the IT industry works. The good thing about IT industry in development community is lot of source code is available. Sharing is caring. No other industry has progressed so well as far as our industry is concerned. But again, being so any open source libraries, people put malware into it,
Right.
which is
Oh,
known after,
yes.
let's say, 10 years. Log4j is a big example. You might use, Log4j just for the awareness of the house. Log4j was the one Java library which everybody was using to, record logs and, save logs. And one fine day, Alibaba, this Chinese, what is his name?
Yeah.
Uh,
Chinese
Jack Ma.
Amazon.
Jack Ma. His
Jack
threat
Ma.
hunting team found out, boss, there is a flaw in Log4j. And we were an offsite, and they were all CIOs and CISOs. They were just talking to their teams, both this patch, that patch, and all that. They had sleepless nights.
Right.
So these are going to be challenges for years to come. Today, we are using artificial intelligence and different models which are preparing, but we do not know what is there in the library.
Right.
And when the bomb might burst, some intentional flaw or maybe an unintentional flaw, which may be exploited.
Correct.
So these are going to be challenges in the future to come.
Thank you very much. And such interesting talks, so much learning that I lost track of time, Dr. Ritika. Can I go about 15 minutes over?
Sure, sir. No problem. It's a very
Thank you.
interesting discussion. We're getting to know a lot of things.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And
Thank you
also,
so
I
much,
will
man.
attempt.
Thanks.
Sure.
I take it as a compliment.
It is. There is no doubt about it. Sure. And I will attempt that I do not add any anecdotes from my side, and attempt to I have some questions in mind. So at least ask all, even if we need to go a bit fast now, Ashok, with your permission.
Yes.
Right? Good.
I'm
Thank
done.
you.
I'm done. More or less, whatever insider threat was concerned, we talked about traditional methods and the modern methods and their pitfalls and their limitations.
Great.
Now, main part we are done. Now we are left with the Q&A session.
Thank you very much. So these are critical points, as you have explained very well, the limitations of the latest technology also.
Great.
It's clear that while AI offers immense capabilities, we must navigate these technical and ethical. In one of my webinars, we had discussed
very important
IEEE ethics, etc. So it's a big topic. Again, I'll request you to come again some other day to talk to us with respect to ethics in AI, which is a big topic today in the world.
Okay.
So technical and ethical waters with extreme care. So we have some excellent questions people have asked in advance or may have in mind. With your permission, I would like to
please go ahead,
use those, and if we can quickly go through those because questions have come up. So from a PhD candidate in computer science, she asks, given the challenge of imbalanced data sets for insider threats, what specific strategies are most promising in 2025 for training deep learning models effectively when there are so few real-world malicious insider incidents?
I'm so glad.
Very interesting question, according to me.
I'm so glad. As I said, the real world data nobody cases because of various limitations. As ma'am has also agreed that It reveals lot many confidentiality of an organization. So our dependence is going to be on synthetically generated data. Yes, we can refine and we can make it as real as possible, but it will never be a real data. Let's understand that. We can make it real,
Right.
look like real, but clone is a clone, right?
Yes.
Now, coming on to transfer learning, training models are larger, more generic behavioral data sets, and then fine-tuning them on smaller and specific insider thread data. Right. So this is the approach which we adopted.
All right.
Straight away, training on a 90 GB data is not feasible. Neither we have those kind of compute.
Right.
Right. You will require CUDA core, number of CUDA cores, and a dedicated GPU, and number of processors, and massive RAM.
All right.
My system of 128 GB RAM couldn't handle. It crashed number of times. Right. And most of the time, since it was working in the background, we did not know whether it is working or we need to interrupt, but we could say there's a hard disk activity going on. So these things will happen.
Right.
And then comes one class classification and anomaly detection. Instead of trying to classify normal versus malicious, these models focus on robustly characterizing normal behavior and then flagging anything which is anomalous without needing many malicious examples for training.
Right.
Right. Setting up a baseline and just talk about this is, if anything beyond this boundary or lower than this boundary, to be flagged.
All right.
So that is how we do it. And active learning, in case we have missed out something and later on we realize that but this is what we missed out. This is
Right.
called active learning in artificial intelligence. So
Okay.
you make a point, but this is what we missed out. This is a malicious activity. For future, now remember, it is like something you teach a child 2 + 2. He
Right.
says 3. No, boss, it is not 2 + 2 is not 3. It is 2 + 2, 4. So in future, it will remember, he or she will remember that it's 2 + 2 is 4.
All right.
So this is active learning.
Correct. Correct.
So
Thank you.
synthetic data generation, transfer learning, one class classification and anomaly detection, and active learning can sort out all these problems. Which
Very good. Thank you very much. While we were saying, I said that ethics and AI, or ethics in AI, is a big topic we should pick up some other day. Actually, a student's question is around that, so I would like to read that also. For organizations adopting these artificial intelligence, machine learning solutions, what's the most critical first step they should take to ensure ethical implementation and minimize privacy concerns?
Oh my goodness. Probably it will require a full-fledged session.
And I'm saying 2 minutes, please.
Yes. Okay, I'll just try to summarize since
Please.
how much? 1903. Okay, we have time with us. So first and foremost thing is transparency and establishing clear policies. That's anything you implement new,
Right.
whether it is corporate or government, it has to be done with the transparency and clear laid down policies, not in those legal language which a normal human being only a lawyer can understand.
Right.
Those policies should be readably, it's in the simplest possible English, right? Communicate those policies very clearly. It should be understood. When we say communication, I talk and you do not understand, the communication doesn't happen.
Right.
So once we communicate, the feedback has to come, boss, we understood and we will abide by it, because compliance is a big issue.
Right.
If somebody doesn't comply, he becomes an insider threat. So people need to understand.
Yeah.
Develop a robust ethical framework and governance policy. This should outline the principles guiding AI usage, how we are going to use, how much of data we are going to retain, how we are going to access the data, and accountability. It is about establishing trust. People are talking about a lot about implementation of AI. AI is going to be a single point of failure for most of the organization. This is my prediction and with my experience with AI.
I like that.
Reason
Yes.
being, you are putting in so much of data in the model. It's a single point of failure. If a hacker can crack the model itself, he doesn't have to go anywhere. Everything is available in the model itself.
Right.
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 So we need to, this is going to be a crown jewel and we need to protect it.
Right.
Right. Now coming in, again, as I said, focus on behavior, not individuals. When the data is tied to individuals, the analysis should focus on anomalous behaviors rather than profiling specific employees, which becomes a targeted kind of
Right.
person belong to caste, creed, or some nuisance might happen. So let's it should be on a specific behavior with evidence and not specific to the individuals. I hope I'm able to answer that.
Right, right. Thank you very much. And to our audience, specifically those who are IEEE members, I would like to remind that IEEE has its code of conduct and ethics. We all need to abide by that. Let's learn, relearn, keep looking at that, keep refreshing our memory that we have committed to live to that. And there is actually a course IEEE has on AI and ethics. So thank you very much once again. The next one, cybersecurity researcher. So maybe it's someone like you, even if it's young professional. I do not know the male, female, student, professional, researcher, faculty. That's not clear to me, but it's a researcher in cybersecurity. You mentioned adversarial AI, artificial intelligence. Are there any emerging techniques to make these ML models more robust against such evasion attempts by sophisticated insiders? Sophisticated insiders is a new term in the question.
Sophisticated insiders are basically the system administrators or the people who are CIOs or CISOs. जब रक्षक जो हैं वही if they turn rogue, I can understand. Yes, adversarial AI research is booming.
Mm-hmm.
The key techniques which are part of it are, one is adversarial training. Training the machine learning model with the intentionally crafted adversarial example. You create a situation, attacker situation, as you brought out very nicely. The defender has to think like an attacker. And you actually do not attack your system. In a lab, you create an attack, and when the logs are generated, you bring in those logs and put it in the model. So model understands that when this kind of attack happens, this is going to be anomalous behavior. So this is booming. Adversarial training of a machine learning model, it's a continuous process.
Right.
Feature robustness is another point, focusing on extracting features that are harder for an adversary to manipulate or disguise. We need to focus on extracting those kind of features. Then ensemble models. Combining multiple diverse machine learning models, making it harder for an attacker to fool all them simultaneously. We will not be dependent on one kind of machine learning model. So it has to be a different approach altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So in case one system is gone, we have a backup system available.
Right.
Parallel system available. This is called ensemble models. Now, third and last part is explainable AI for defense. If we can understand why a model is being fooled, we can better defend. Explainable AI helps in identifying model vulnerabilities. So these are the methods which we use for adversarial AI in research.
Correct. Thank you very much. Ashok, in the beginning, you had said one of the reasons for insider threat that we are discussing today: greed, lust, and stupidity of the human being.
Human mind. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm being greedy to ask one more question. This is the last one. I cannot give up on this one because this is from a student. It's a very important audience that we have.
Sure. We have time.
Future of the country, of the planet. It's a computer science graduate, it seems, undergraduate. How can a student interested in this field get involved in research or practical application of ML or NDL for insider threat detection?
This is now I can sit back and relax because it's a relatively easier question. First thing is developing the skills. In case somebody wants to build his career in AI and machine learning, I always advise that there is a book in on operating system in 3 easy pieces. It's freely downloadable. It's available. Every computer science graduate who wish to, when I say computer science, now I know at BTech level there are now specialization which used to go in our time at postgraduate level, but everyone must read these books.
Okay.
Then Python is the future. The way there was a time when everybody was after Java, but the way Python has taken over machine learning, so native mother language is going to be the Python. Develop skills in Python and explore. There are various publicly available data sets. Look into those data sets, how data sets are made. By looking at the data set, you will have sufficient ideas. Get into the habit of reading good research papers.
Right.
Good research paper, when I say, you can get to know about it, with the help of citations it had, number of downloads it had, and things like that. So don't get into the technicalities of those papers. Read abstract and conclusion. Takeaways.
Very good
First
advice.
part and last part. And if you find it interesting, fine. No, everything is available. Like 10 years back during MTech time, we used to take printout and read. I had full bag of research paper, at BITS Pilani. We had tough time, taking so many printouts and subsequently disposing them off. So today we have, version of every research paper. Read. And I don't want to disclose it, but people will know. A lot of people, what they do is feed this to AI agent, your paper, write a nice prompt, and it gives you a summary. So even that is okay if you want to. But it is always a good habit to read good papers. Focus on specific areas. You want to build up something like anomaly detection or natural language processing for communication analysis, graph neural networks for access patterns, behavior dynamics. Focus on these areas. Then there are various open source tools available on GitHub. Most of them are Linux based, Unix based. Learn Linux. Spend some time on learning Linux, because whatever you want to do on Microsoft platform, same you can do on Linux platform also. There are capture the flag incidents available. Attend those CTF events, and over the wire, there is a beautiful website. But over the wire, there are various challenges of security. So moment you can crack all those problems, it will start very basic, and slowly it will make you master of. And by the time you reach the last level, you will start thinking like an attacker. And once you start thinking, once you are good in offensive ops, then you can be a good defender. And once you are a good defender and have a skill set of Python, you can be a good developer. And same model you can adopt in artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Very good. Very good.
That's what I need to convey, and I think.
Thank you very much, Ashok. I'm really happy that I picked up the last question, but the whole discussion was very good. I hope our audience has picked up many. I'm going to repeat something.
Sure.
From your
Quotable
book of
quotes.
cybersecurity, the PPT, out of which my personal favorite is the first one, the people most important. Even if there is a lot machine technology, etc. But without people, it's not going to be right, etc., etc. Thinking of insider threats also. Your people, this is what I have been saying, and I'll repeat here. Your people are your biggest antennas for detection, prevention, prediction, all. So pay attention to your people, take care of your people. If you think, if you see, if you notice that Daman all of a sudden has become too vocal, or Daman all of a sudden has become too silent, there is something wrong. There is some chemical locha you must discuss with Daman. Either he is
Anomalous
doing
behavior.
or someone is doing to him. Thank you very
true.
much. Thanks a lot once again to you, and I would like to hand it over back to Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful discussion. I would say the simplicity and the ease and the great examples with which you both have discussed this big challenge of insider threat has been the beauty of today's session, because all our participants have enjoyed this wonderfully. So thank you so much, sir. And it was a very wonderful session. We will love to have you back again soon on much more detailed discussions on this topic, because I think this insider threat is the main problem in the current times, why many people are becoming, I would say, facing such a different kind of attacks, cyber attacks, in whatever form it may be. So thank you so much, sir. And we would not end the session before we present a small remembrance, a token of remembrance for this wonderful session today. So, sir, please accept this certificate from BVI CAM as a remembrance to this wonderful session today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure. Daman sir is always a good friend, but the kind of questions he brings out, it's a real eye opener for us also. And last webinar we had was during COVID, sir.
As I recollect, perhaps, yes.
Yes. So good. We only see each other only on webinars. So.
I don't know whether this is compliment or complaint, but I'll fix it.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me, and love to be part of such discussions with the students.
Absolutely, sir. It has been wonderful. Please also accept this e-memento from BVI CAM.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'll just take a screenshot of this.
Sir, I'm mailing it to you.
Okay. All right.
It's a JPG we have created, so I would be mailing it to you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, Daman, sir, for always making possible all these wonderful sessions.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Any other questions? Daman sir has my mail ID. We can you can mail it to me, and
please. Yes.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, Daman sir. Dear participants, with this, we have come to an end to this wonderful interaction today on insider threat prediction.
Can we take your leave, Dr.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.